air conditioning. I'm data logging with all the Bluetooth sensors. So I'm recording it on my iPad, and I'm going to show you what this 2005 Acura TL looks like. It's been sitting in the sun here since this morning, so it's absolutely roasted. The interior was baked. So low side, high side, Bluetooth, live recording. I'm taking my Superheat temperature from right here on the suction line, and I'm taking my subcooling temperature off the bottom liquid line of the condenser located right there, because that's the only place I could get a fit to it, because the line is way down there and I can't get it down there below the bumper. We're 87, 88 degrees out here right now. As you can see, this is the Acura. It's a 4-door. It has a sunroof, so we have the sun coming in. It's a good thing they got tint in the back, and it's a good thing he doesn't have black interior. So let me show you how it's operating. You can hear the clutch kicking off and on, so it is satisfying. So we have some headroom on this vehicle. It could even be hotter outside, and the clutch will probably still, even though we're 87, 88 degrees outside, I bet you this car can probably go up to about 90 to 95 degrees, and probably 95 degrees maybe, and still satisfy the minimum temperature set from the manufacturer and cycle the clutch still at 95 degrees. This one does pretty good. This is an R134 system, so let's take a look at what we have going on here. Let me see if I can get it to focus. I get it to focus here because it doesn't like to focus on glass, especially if it reflects back. So I get it focused there. I come back over here. See, we're looking at pressure right now, and you can see when the clutch cycles off. The clutch is cycling off about, what's that look like? These are minutes. Minute 5, 6, 7, 8, and coming up on 9. It looks like we're cycling about every 45 seconds. It satisfies, it cycles off. This is when the clutch cycles off. You could see when it drops, then you see it go up, and the fan comes on, the fan kicks on and brings it back down. And then right where you could see it cycles off, the high side, the low side goes up. You see the drop in the pressure in the high side comes down. That is the cycling off time. I wish this was like a oscilloscope and I could drag a little line on a time meter to take amplitude over, time. So here is our cycling rate. Here is our fan rate, our fan slope coming down, our clutch cycling off. Clutch cycling right there at that leading edge right there, the trailing edge. It's coming down, it cycles on, it drops the low pressure, but at the same time the high pressure goes on. The fan kicks in and starts making the round hump, and the fan takes over. It is still on, and the fan starts cooling down the condenser, overcoming its pressure, and it comes down. Then we repeat again over and over again. So we have roughly a 45-second cycle time on this 2005 Acura TL, cooking out here in the hot sun, 88 degrees, 87 degrees outside. Let's come back to our temperatures. Let's see, what are we doing under our temperatures? So here's our dash temperature. So we're seeing the cycling of the clutch going off and on by these little humps right there. They're having in intervals, they lead and lag. So these lag behind the compressor going off. Then it takes a little recovery time that there's still some cold air, and then you start seeing a rise. And then the clutch cycles off, and then the hump on the leading trail, it starts coming back down. And our minimum temperature, I think, was 41 degrees. 41.8 degrees is our cycle off time. That's it. Let's go look at superheat and subcooling. Right here. So there's our superheat, and you take your superheat. Well, we can't get steady state here, so it's not going to be perfect because it's not in a steady state. It's constantly cycling off and on, and we have a fan changing airflow over the condenser, so we'll never get a steady state unless we get to the point where we could just get to that straw that breaks the camel back, and we get to that point where the clutch no longer cycles. We can hold the engine RPMs at a set point of whatever the manufacturer would say to do. Let's change this up, and we're going to do the RPM thing. Right now you can see we're at idle, which is roughly 750 RPMs over there, and come on, focus right there, that's idle. Let's get back out, let's come back down here. Look at our subcooling. And you can tell when the compressor is on, and right now it's on with the, there it just went off. You just seen it jump off right there. The fan gets to its equilibrium where it can't cool the condenser anymore. It stays at about 188 psi. But until it can recover and the clutch kicks back on, it soars up to 200 psi. But it's going through this oscillation of a point where it reaches the equilibrium where it can't give no more and it can't take no more with the amount of air that's blowing over the condenser before the time a cycle cutout comes in. So let's up the RPMs. So I'm going to come up here and we're going to go somewhere around 1700 RPMs. Let me get over there, and if I could get a steady, is this car going to be nice to me and let me get a nice steady foot? You know, sometimes the computers like to take over and make you jump up and down, especially some of the smaller turbo cars or a diesel. That's a hard one to get. Okay, it looks like I can get this nice and steady. Oh, there, clutch kicked out. Now you watch it. You'll see the clutch kick in. I think the clutch kicked in. I could feel, you see a jump every now and then. So let me back out here and we'll just watch it right here. Now look at the superheat. Look at the subcooling. And you can tell when it's on and off by watching the raising or falling. And we're raising and falling much faster. We have a much quicker cycle rate. This car can easily go to 90, 95 degrees and maybe still satisfy and cycle the clutch. Okay, let's look at what it's doing here. Look at the shortened time width. See where I'm at on RPMs. I'm trying to hold it right about there. Now the compressor is working more efficiently because the RPMs are up. So we no longer have this long cycle time. We have shorter cycle times. We're satisfying really fast. And you can see as I'm holding steady up there, when I first hit the throttle pedal, went a little crazy there for a little, you see a little different pattern. But then after a while, it steadied up and it's becoming normal again with short cycle times. So let's go back. Watch the superheat and subcooling as you notice the compressor's in and goes out when it kicks out. And this is why you cannot get an accurate superheat or subcooling on a rapidly cycling system. You have fans on and off, you have compressor on and off. Doesn't work. It can give you an idea. You can get a window, and when you learn a particular year, make, model car, you can learn what is normal for that car. You can't apply it to another car, but you can learn what is normal for that car. Never mind these guys who are on YouTube saying, oh yeah, all cars hit 220 or 270 or whatever. And no, all cars do not hit that same pressure and you fill them up to that point. There's someone really big on YouTube has a really technology kind of automotive channel, and he has some automotive air conditioning software that could diagnose all cars. Yeah, 1960 cars with fixed piston compressors and a fixed solid fan. That's what his software is good for. All right, guys, I'm going to check out of here. I got to get on with the show. And I just wanted to show you this because you can compare this video to the other few thousand videos I have showing how a car reacts to different pressures and temperatures, superheat and subcooling. Variable displacement compressors, fixed piston, very fancy climate control systems, or simple climate control systems. See you guys in the next one. Adios.